At this exact moment, trillions of dollars are moving around the world without moving at all. No trucks, no ships, no suitcases of cash, just promises. Invisible IOUs quietly deciding who survives, who collapses, and who gets rescued when things go wrong. Most people think the global economy runs on money. It doesn't. It runs on trust written down as debt. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If everyone demanded real money at the same time, the system would freeze within hours, not days, hours. That's not a conspiracy. That's the design. And right now, that design matters more than ever.
Because inflation, banking stress, government debt, market crashes, and bailouts are all symptoms of the same invisible machine. So let's slow it down, strip away the jargon, and look at what's actually happening. Imagine a small village. There's a baker, a farmer, and a builder. They don't carry gold coins around. That's heavy and risky. So they do something smarter. The baker gives bread today. The farmer promises grain later. The builder promises to fix the oven next month. No money changes hands, just memory and trust. That works until the village grows. Now scale that village to millions of people, thousands of banks, and hundreds of countries. Memory isn't enough anymore, so we write promises down. Those written promises are called IOUs. Debt, credit, bonds, loans. Different names, same idea. I'll pay you later. Here's the key part most people miss. These IOUs don't just represent money. They become money.
When a bank gives you a loan, it doesn't hand you existing cash. It creates a number on a screen. That number is new purchasing power. It didn't exist before the loan. The bank gets an IOU from you. You get an IOU from the bank. Both sides record an asset. And just like that, money appears. This is how most money in the world is created. Not by governments printing bills, by banks creating promises. Over 90% of global money is born this way, quietly. Now let's raise the stakes. Banks don't just hold your IOU and wait politely for years. They trade them. Your mortgage gets bundled with thousands of others, sold to another institution, used as collateral, borrowed against again. One promise stacked on top of another, like a tower of sticky notes where each note says, "Trust me." This is where it gets strange. Banks lend money they don't fully have because they expect deposits to stay put. And most of the time, they're right.
People don't all withdraw cash at once. They swipe cards, they tap phones, they trust the screen. But this only works if everyone keeps believing the IOUs are good. The moment doubt enters, everything changes. Because the system is fast on the way up and brutally fast on the way down. Let's talk about the overnight market. Every single night, banks lend money to each other for just a few hours. Why? Because at the end of the day, some banks are short, others have extra. They settle it with short-term IOUs. Trillions move overnight, and by morning, it resets. Most people have never heard of this market, yet if it freezes, ATMs stop working. This almost happened in 2008, and again in 2019, and briefly in 2020.
Each time, central banks stepped in, not with lectures, with guarantees. They said, "We'll accept your IOUs. We trust them. So should you." That sentence alone can stabilize the world or break it. Here's the uncomfortable math. For every dollar of real base money, there are many more dollars of promises layered on top. Think of it like an iceberg. Cash and central bank reserves are the visible tip. Everything else, loans, bonds, derivatives, credit, is underwater. Massive, interconnected, hard to see. This is why governments can owe trillions and still function, because they don't need to pay it all back at once. They roll it over. Old IOUs are paid with new IOUs. As long as buyers believe the government will exist tomorrow, the machine keeps running. It sounds absurd, owing more by borrowing more to pay old debts. But it's normal until confidence cracks. Now here's the irony. We tell regular people to avoid debt, but the entire global system is built on it. Debt is treated as dangerous for households and essential for nations. Why? Because governments control the rules of the game. They issue the currency. They regulate the banks. They backstop the system when trust evaporates.
You don't get that luxury. When you default, you're irresponsible. When a system defaults, it's systemic risk. Language matters. Now, let's contrast hype versus reality. We're told markets are driven by fundamentals, productivity, innovation, growth. Those matter. But short-term, markets are driven by liquidity. How many IOUs are accepted today? If credit expands, prices rise. If credit contracts, everything sells off. It's not about optimism, it's about plumbing. And the plumbing is fragile. One missed payment can cascade, not because the amount is huge, but because it breaks a chain of trust. This is why small failures sometimes cause massive crises.
It's not the size of the loss, it's where it sits in the network. Now zoom out. The global economy isn't a single machine. It's a web of overlapping promises between banks, governments, corporations, and investors. Most of them will never meet. They trust math, contracts, and the belief that someone, somewhere, will step in if things go bad. So far, that belief has held. But every rescue teaches the system a lesson. Take more risk, the backstop is there. Which means the IOU tower grows taller. More leverage, more complexity, more invisible dependency, until even experts struggle to see who owes what to whom. And that's where we are now, living inside a system that works precisely because most people don't question it, until they do. So here's the quiet question to sit with. If money today is mostly promises, and promises only work when believed, what happens when belief itself becomes the scarce resource? Because once trust goes, there's no spreadsheet big enough to fix it. And the invisible IOUs that quietly run the world suddenly become very visible.